Welcome back, everyone, to your podcast, our podcast, the Popular Side Podcast. As always, he's Yinka Yusuf.
Hello, people. How are we doing?
And Akadeke. Yinka, we are recording on Sunday. It's a little late, but
Yeah.
Sunday, the 26th of October. After a very interesting week in the world of sports on so many levels, basketball,
On so many levels.
football,
Yeah.
a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. But before we dive into things, today is my big brother's birthday.
Our big brother.
Yeah, our big brother's birthday.
There you
Chairman, CEO, Average Sports Football Club. Today is his birthday. Wishing him a happy birthday. May the good Lord grant him all his heart desires, long life, prosperity, and all the good stuff.
Man,
So-
shout out to Big Russ. Happy birthday.
Yeah, so I thought I should lead that way. Unfortunately,
Yes.
his team, Chelsea, didn't give him a good birthday present. But once again, I'm jumping the gun. Let me calm down. Let us take things, as we plan. Don't let me jump the gun. But
I
have the floor.
see it differently. Bruss is such a good guy that even on his birthday he's giving gifts. So instead of receiving, he's giving gifts. So
He's
he
giving
decided
gifts.
to gift us,
Yeah.
the gift of
Of
not
Chelsea
chasing
dropping
us
3
on the
points.
table. not chasing us on the table.
Of Chelsea dropping 3 points. Hey,
And for that, we're grateful. So thank
We're
you,
grateful.
Bruce. Happy
very grateful.
birthday. Enjoy the day, the year, and everything Yinka said.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yinka,
Yes,
we're
sir.
going to switch things up a little bit.
Yep.
The last many episodes we've been doing worthy mentions first, and then we have a really big one today. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to start with the week that was on the actual pitch. The
Yes.
Clasico just finished several hours ago today.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a classic by any stretch of the imagination. Liverpool have now lost 4 in a row in the league.
Yep.
They're now 7 points behind Arsenal, I believe.
Yes, they are 7
Or more?
points behind Arsenal.
7
I think
behind.
it's 7. I think it's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's
So
not, frankly. That's just 3 games. It's not a lot.
okay. So context matters, right? So you know what? Let's just we've already started, so let's just keep going. So
We just
put
keep
it
going.
this way: when I said at the beginning of the season or before the beginning of the season, that any contender who loses more than 2 games will struggle to win the league. You told me I was crazy, and you were right.
Yes.
You said everybody will lose more than 2 games.
Yes.
What?
Actually, before December. That's what you said. So
before December. Yes, before December. But not even you could have predicted that we would be sitting here on the 26th of October.
Yeah.
And Liverpool would have matched the number of losses they had for the entire season last year.
Yep.
In 9 matches, in the first 9 matches.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I didn't see this coming.
It's also the total number.
I did not see this coming.
It's also the total number of losses that Arsenal had last year. 4.
Yep.
Total number of losses that Liverpool had last year. 4.
Yep.
They've now had it in 9 matches, right? This is match
week.
This
is week 9. Yeah. This is match 9, yeah.
So they've lost almost half. And the first 4 games, they could have lost 2 more.
Yep.
They escaped by the skin of their teeth, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah.
So I think we must start with Liverpool. I don't want to rehash anything we've said over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you have anything new to contribute as to what ails Liverpool? What happened to Isak, by the way? Because
I don't know.
He didn't play, right? Was he in the squad?
No, so was it which of the games that he was substituted at halftime? I can't remember. Was it this one? No, I think Ekitike started started the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Let me just give me a second. Let me quickly pull up the. Yeah, so Ekitike started, right? And Isak didn't even come on. It wasn't.
I'm not
even
sure.
On
was
the
he
bench.
on the bench?
So it states here that he has a groin injury. Yeah.
Okay.
But I have something new to add to this, and this is coming totally from what Anslot said, right? After they lost the game against United.
Okay.
He said that the number of long balls they've defended this year is way higher than the number of long balls they defended against, given the same games that they've played after 9 games. And he seems to be pushing the blame to the opposition to say the opposition is not playing the right way. That's why we are not playing the right way. Now, this is not, I'm going to move away from football a bit and talk about life in general. The first sign of a man is for you to own up to your own mistakes. Yeah. If you've messed up, you don't point fingers to the other guy and say it's his fault. As a man, you own up to your mistake and say, I'm at fault, I'll do better. Yeah? Anslot needs to learn from what I've just said.
Yeah.
You cannot, as a Premier League coach, lose 4 games in the row and blame the opposition for the 4 games that you've lost. Akin, they are there to beat you. They will do whatever they need to do to beat you. Yeah. So you're looking for some stats that just seems to support your position, albeit how weak the stats or the perception or the logic is. For me, it's just is irresponsible, kind of. I'm sorry. Is irresponsible, kind of. You can't do that. This is the same Liverpool a year, 2 years ago, even last year. This is the same Liverpool that Van Dijk will do a cross pass from centre back, a 50-40 yard pass to overpass the midfield and go directly to Salah. The same Liverpool that Van Dijk will throw a 50-yard pass to Luis Diaz. All of a sudden, you are now telling me that people that are playing long balls against you, they are not playing the right way? Please, explain to me.
So, you're talking about last season, but they didn't just do it last season. This is what Klopp did for 6 of the 7 or 8 seasons he spent there, until he actually got a real midfield. They had Henderson, who was not a real midfielder. So they bypassed Henderson all the time.
I won't say anything. It's the
truth.
But
they bypassed him all the time, and they just went to...
Liverpool would have been happy with Henderson in their midfield instead of Brentford's midfield yesterday.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Henderson dominated the midfield against Szoboszlai, McAllister, Jones, and Wirtz. I did. Henderson looked the better player. He wanted him more. And that says a lot.
I don't know what to say about it. So, remember, I was out this weekend. Excuse me. I was at my 20th law school reunion. So, I had a lot going on this weekend. So, I didn't see that game. But I was certainly happy about the results. So, I'm not here to complain at all. Okay. So, that was your new thing you wanted to add.
There's one more thing, actually. To Liverpool. If you let me add to it.
Go for it.
Liverpool, the way the team is structured right now, this is Slot's team. Yeah. We typically say if something is not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But decided to fix something that wasn't broken. And now he's throwing tantrums to say, oh, it's not my fault. Dude, it is your fault. I'm sorry. It is your fault, right? The lineup, the way you played, the style of play, everything, it is your fault. And every day that you keep shifting the blame to other people, people lose respect for you. I think Salah has lost respect for him. I think yes.
Really?
You don't see Salah throw tantrums like this typically, do you? He is throwing tantrums, right? He is. And this is what happens when coaches when you throw people under the bus. And this throwing players under the bus started a while back. Crystal Palace, where he blamed Carragher for losing the ball, right? Yeah. You keep saying, is this person, is that person, is this person, is that? It's you. You the man in charge. Deal with it. Deal with it. I'm sorry. Right now, Salah is being played as if he's an outsider, right? You're not playing. You're not feeding him as much as you used to. It's like you're forcefully changing the DNA of the team to suit the way you want to play. It's 100% onslaught. You don't force. If Wirtz is taking a while to mesh with the team, you don't force water down you can force a horse to the water, you can't force it to drink. You don't force the play. We have to play this way. You need to adapt. Adaptability is one of the number one skill requirements of a coach. You can't just say, this is how we have to play. Hell no. Anyway, I can rest my case on Slot.
Okay.
I'm happy with what's going on with them. I said the funk. I'll hand it over to you shortly. I said the funk, they should be careful. They had better win their next game. Remember I told you, right? Now everything that can go bad for them is going bad. That Van Dijk penalty wasn't a penalty in my opinion. The ref gave it.
Okay.
No. I don't think it was a penalty. Because
it wasn't a foul or because it wasn't in the box?
We've said this before. There's contact and there's fouls, right?
Okay.
There was contact. Was it a foul? Hell no. He didn't trip the guy. Yes, his leg touched him, right? And the guy decided to dive. Yes, the foul happened on the line. I agree with that. Or rather, the contact happened on the line. So if the ref deemed it a foul, yes, it's a penalty. But in my opinion, it's not a pen. Let's stop all this nonsense and be obviously giving everybody that same foul, Akin. Somewhere else, the ref might say play on. Yeah. So what are we talking about here? I don't think it's a foul. I'm sorry. That's my position. But I'm happy. I mean, 7 points behind Arsenal. That's 3 games.
So Yinka, before we wrap, Liverpool, tell us where Liverpool goes from here. What do you think happens to Liverpool from here? Okay.
They're going to struggle. They're in the top 4 battle this year. I think that's where they go from here.
Wow. Yeah. You're making a lot of news today. Okay.
No. And here's why I'm saying this. It's not because they're 3 points or they're 7 points behind Arsenal. It's the way the team is playing and the way their coaches respond. It's the whole dynamics right now, right? There's a difference in you not playing well and you say, you know what, we know what we need to do. You know what, we need to play differently. Oh, you know what, I need to not concede. Play with 2 defensive midfielders. I need to do something to settle. Then we can then build from there. But I don't see that happening. So I will see them blow hot and cold. That's what I think will happen. They'll blow hot and cold till December. And by the time it's December, Salah is going to Nations Cup. That's a problem for them again. That's a problem for them. Yeah? So I think they will be in a top 4 battle. If they are still in the championship running, right, then everything I say about Arne Slot, I will apologize to him, right? But the team right now, and with the way he's reacting, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like he's ready to take ownership of this team. That's the way I feel.
Okay. I think it's only 9 games in. I think there's 29 more to go.
Yes.
I think a lot can happen. I don't think Arsenal will stumble. Not necessarily. I don't think so.
Arsenal will stumble, okay.
No, not like this. Not like when they lost Saliba 3 years ago. Not like when they lost Gabriel last season. Yeah, not like when they lost Odegaard and Saka. They literally lost Odegaard now, and they're doing what they're doing. You know?
Yes.
No, not like anybody would. I'm not saying they're gonna win out and not lose any games. That's not what I mean. But stumble meaning you lose 3 in a row. I mean, they're prosecuting the games they need to prosecute. You know, like today was probably their toughest game, in a long time against
rightly so, against Crystal
Palace. I mean, but you saw what Crystal Palace went to. Was it Anfield or was it at their home?
No, they beat Liverpool at Selhurst Park.
At their home, okay. But they could have been up 4-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
It was not the same against Arsenal.
Yeah. So, Akin, just to buttress my point, I pulled up Liverpool's next fixtures. And this is my worry for them. So the Carabao Cup is on Wednesday. They are home to Crystal Palace. Yeah?
Oh.
Well, let's take that out of the equation. Next week, they are at home to Aston Villa. Aston Villa is on a roll. Aston Villa beat Spurs at home and they beat City today. Yeah? Or was it yesterday? I can't remember.
Great goal.
Right?
No, today. Great. It was at the same time as the Arsenal game.
At the same time as the Arsenal game, yeah. Great goal by Cash. Villa on a roll. Guess what Liverpool's next game is on Tuesday next week? Right? They are home to Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Oof.
Guess what's after that? They are away to City.
Ouch.
You see my point?
Ouch.
You see what I said about the funk? They need to get max points for these next 3 games. Take out the Champions League games. Those are distractions for them. So you see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? It is happening at the wrong time. If the next couple of games had been Burnley at home, West Ham at home, Wolves at home, I would say fine. They should have enough to,
Yeah.
But with these games coming up, Akin, I will be gladly surprised if Slot can navigate this into a situation where they will still be in the title race at the end of the City game. That's the way I see it, right? But that's my point with them. I don't think they're in a bad place right now. Everything that can go bad is going bad for them.
Okay, so we're gonna jump around a bit, because we're not gonna stay in the EPL. We'll come back to it. We're gonna go to El Clasico. Today, Real Madrid hosted Barcelona. Game ended up just trolling. You wore that to troll and roll, but that's okay.
I wasn't that to support my friend. I'm not going to troll and roll.
2-1 to Real Madrid. Bellingham seems a little more active than he's been, more recently. Still not all the way there. The shine is off him a little bit. We don't have a ton of time, so this is what I'll do. I'll bring back my, what was that segment that I did for a couple episodes? Best thing I saw today. So I will call this one, the most interesting thing I saw today. Right? It will be the juxtaposition of Real Madrid's number 7 being substituted at home while being up 2-1, and Arsenal's number 7 being substituted at home while being up 1-0.
1-0.
Right? Arsenal's number 7 was the captain. He handed off the armband and walked off, took all the congratulations and, adulations and stuff, and sat quietly on the bench. Real's number 7 threw tantrums on the pitch, yelled at the coach. Coach quietly moved out of the way, and kept yelling while he sat on the bench. And his team was winning. So I think Vinny Jr. has well and truly exhausted all the goodwill he had in the bank before. For me, that was the most fascinating part. The game itself, it wasn't a great game. It wasn't a well-played game. I see the structure you've been talking about, but Real still don't have a great defense. Barcelona just don't have a plan for any phase of the game. Midfield, attack, defense, don't matter. So for me, neither of these are great teams right now, in my opinion. We've been talking about this for weeks, so I'm not going to over-index on that. But I'll turn it over to you, Yinka. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So you're right. It wasn't. It was an anticlimax, kind of. There was nothing classical about El Clasico. Interesting point about Vinny. I would have, in my opinion, he was probably the man of the match for Madrid before they took him off.
Yeah.
So if there's, I can't believe I'm defending Vinny. If there's any time he had the slimmest right to be pissed at being substituted, right? I can say today is a slim one. It's okay, right? I am not supporting what he did, the tantrum and everything, but I'm just saying, if you are taking me off for a defensive sub, let's say you are brought on a defender, I'll get the logic that okay, we're shoring up, right? Or on a day where I'm the most threatening, right? And you take me off and you bring Rodrigo on, what are you doing? Yeah, that's my personal position on that. But I don't like the way he reacted, right? But I can understand the way he was thinking. I'm not excusing what he did, but that's one. Two, I've told you this about Barcelona, right? Barcelona, a reckless side, and the whole recklessness was on display today. Yeah, I mean, anybody that didn't see it, that just couldn't see it. I mean, maybe you're being blind or you're being biased or you love Barca so much. It was completely on display today. Yeah, Madrid had chance after chance. That Mbappe first goal, I don't know how that's offside. Offside, come on, he's like with offside with his toe, with his big toe. Come on, man. I think football should move beyond all this last. Anyway, I'm not. But the goal, the finish, Mbappe lost the penalty. He missed the penalty, rather.
He did.
Right? He did. And Madrid still won.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Szczesny saved a penalty. That was a great save.
It was a great save. I give it to him. Yeah. Szczesny had a great game. He was arguably Barca's man of the match. Right?
Yeah, and then it also should not have been a penalty. I'm not even sure VAR should have intervened.
What was the penalty incident again? I'm trying to. The one I remember was the elbow that I.
No.
What was the penalty incident? This one. That was the goal. That was the second
handball,
goal.
Handball, Eric Garcia. Garcia.
I remember. That was the penalty.
No, but hold on. Now. He hit what's his name, Bellingham.
Yeah.
And Garcia was on the ground. There was nothing he could do.
Yeah.
He couldn't move.
Garcia did this. You can't do this. You can't see if your hand is like this and the ball hits it and it's even still out. Garcia moved his hand to the ball.
But there was an intervention where he hit the attacker before he hit you. But it's okay. Keep going.
No. So based on the rules, it says if he hits your body before he hits your hand, it's not a penalty. If it's straight from the attacker to your hand, it's in play for penalty.
Okay.
But what I saw was he moved this hand, right? Okay. So I think I'm not too. If they had given it fine, if they didn't, it's no big deal. But rightfully so, it was saved, right? Maybe ball don't lie. But looking at the game in general, you're right. Pedri and De Jong, right? They couldn't do anything. They couldn't. Lamine Yamal couldn't really do anything. Yeah, he didn't really do anything. So the game panned out the way I thought it would pan out. Two poor sides, very poor sides, playing where one. Let's call it what it is, Aki.
Okay.
Arsenal City game. Yeah. At the Emirates, was it like this?
No, it was not. More tactical.
Precisely my point. This was a drab affair, handbags all over the place. People, come on, man. It wasn't. It got to a point. I actually stopped watching at the 85th minute. I was like, wow. What is this? I switched off. I was watching something else. It was that bad. Yeah. So once again, Barca, like I said, reckless team, right? They will only go as far as their offense can take them if they face a team that is defensively resolute. Or I agree, Real Madrid, the only chance Barca had or the goal they scored was a defensive mistake by Adagula. Adagula turned where he shouldn't turn. He turned into trouble. Rashford got the ball, squared it for Firmino, right? That was the main chance that Barca had. So which has always been my point. And you're right. Maybe Madrid's defense, you can't compare it to Arsenal. You can't even compare it to some of the teams in the EPL. But in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is the king. La Liga is the land of the blind. In fact, completely blind when it comes to defense. Yeah? But Real Madrid are the only ones that seem to, the DNA of Xavi and Alonso, the DNA is imprinting on the team. They have that defensive identity to some extent, which Barca don't. Yeah, I get it that Barca, maybe some players didn't play, but who was missing today per se? Is it Rafinha? Or is it Lewandowski? I'm just trying to tell you. So who are the players that were missing today? That Barca is saying, "Oh, this is my B team."
Those are big players.
But those people will affect their offense, not their defense. So who are the defenders that were missing today? You see my point.
I hear you.
Anyway,
I hear you. Okay.
Madrid are now 5 points ahead of them, right? Which is the bigger problem, right? The way Madrid has been showing this season, they will probably win out all these smaller teams, either by hooks or by crooks.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. The only people that will give them problem is still Madrid and Barca. Atlético Madrid, that is. Right? So if I'm already 5 points ahead of you, that means I have room to breathe. Mbappe will always take them over all these Real Oviedos, Sevillas, all these. So a 5-point gap right now is something. It is something. I rest my case.
Okay. So that's your prediction. Do you think the League, La Liga, is Real Madrid's to lose?
It is Real Madrid's to lose. Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
It is Real Madrid's to lose. Yeah, we will.
We'll come back to it. All right, so now I'm going to jump back to our worthy mentions. I just wanted to start with those two. Let's jump to our worthy mentions.
Let's run out the leagues first. Then we go back to the worthy mentions.
All right. So we always start with France. So let's do France very quickly in 30 seconds.
Yeah, France is getting more interesting by the day.
So we need to give them 1 minute next week. 30 seconds.
So Olympique Lyonnais and Strasbourg played this evening. I actually watched the game. Lyonnais won 2-1. Lyon won 2-1. Fantastic good second goal for Lyon. PSG won yesterday. So the top of the table is 20 points, 19, 18, 18, 17.
That's crazy.
So there's only 3 points between 1 and 6. Yeah? This doesn't happen in French league often.
No,
it doesn't. So when it's happening, it's noteworthy. But PSG are still on top with 1 point. The injuries have brought them down to every other person's level, kind of.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But we'll see when the big guns get back. I think they'll get back and they will win out. But hey, we need to acknowledge that
it makes it interesting for us. So
yeah. Mason Greenwood scored again yesterday.
After scoring 4 last week.
Yeah, he's gonna get a big money move hacking. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not gonna last long here. And it was a beautiful goal, right leg, like an Henry type finish, one-time finish. He's on fire, man.
Okay. Where do you think he'll go?
I don't know. I don't think he's coming back to England.
Yeah, I'm thinking Italy, to be honest.
I'm thinking Spain.
Yeah, I could see that. But to be honest, I think Inter could use him. I think Milan could use him. Depending on what happens with Højlund, I'm not sure that Napoli couldn't use him. But I can see him going to Lazio. I can see it.
I think Barca can use him.
Yeah, but would they want him? But okay.
The Spain doesn't care about all this, court cases, all these. Yeah. They took party, so they might get him. Anyway.
Okay. So let's do Germany real quick. Tell us what happened.
Germany is as usual. I don't know what all these teams are doing. Bayern are just coasting, right? You're playing Bayern at home. Good. They played Mönchengladbach. No. 15-20 minutes into the game, reckless tackle, straight red card. And come on. with 11-11, you can't even cope with them. Not to talk of when you're a man down. Don't go a man down against Bayern. Be defensively resolute. And of course, what happened after that? Bayern took over and they trashed them. Was it 3 or 4? I can't even remember what was the final score. So just Bayern are champions in waiting at this point. I don't think anybody's going to catch them.
I think how you say it like these players want to be nervous. They want to make the mistake. They don't. Seeing Bayern ahead of them or in front of them is what causes them to do these things. These things that are not characteristics of how they usually play.
I saw the tackle. It was unnecessary. Yeah. It was completely unnecessary. Luis Diaz wasn't going anywhere, right? You go 2-foot him. What are you doing?
What would you do? Would they do that against Mainz? That's my point. It's human
I get what you're
psychology.
saying.
It's sports psychology.
I get what you're saying, but I can flip that and say if it's Bayern that in front of you, the more reason why you shouldn't do it. Yes, you can do that against Mainz. Yeah.
Why
you should be doing that against Mainz, but not once you're a man down against Bayern, you're dead.
But Yinka, these players are not robots. They're human, flesh and blood. The psychology. There's a reason. Some people make their biggest mistakes on the biggest stages. They don't want to. They know they shouldn't do it, but it just happens. You get nervous. You get tight. You start trying things that that you normally would not try. And
I hear you.
Boom. All right.
Anyway, that's Germany.
That's Germany. Let us go to Italy. Still, we can no longer say it's the most competitive now that we've talked about France. But go for it.
Fair point. Napoli are back on top now. They played Inter on Saturday. They beat Inter 3-1. KDB scored a penalty and he pulled the hamstring while scoring the penalty.
That's crazy.
And he could barely walk. They had to lift him.
That's just being old.
They had to lift him off the pitch. Yeah. Then Scott McTominay scored a beauty. Napoli more or less just destroyed Inter. Yeah. So Napoli are back on top now with 18 points. They are joined top with Roma. Milan 17, Inter 15. So between first and sixth is 5 points. Como is sixth with 13 points. Right?
Yeah.
So still competitive, maybe not as competitive as the French League. And maybe ultimately the French League would drop in terms of competition level once the big guns for PSG come back. But as it stands, Serie A is looking tight.
Okay.
Any of these top four can win it. Any of them can.
All right, let's do La Liga. We already talked about El Clasico, the signature game of the season. Yeah.
One of your artists said something. Said, "Ti bakabata Messi."
Play
Lumaku. Exactly.
Yeah, so my favorite guy.
Since we've spoken about the Clasico, Kilotuku.
Nothing else to talk about.
There's nothing else to talk about in the Serie A. I mean, in La Liga. There's nothing.
That is so bad. That is so terrible.
Nothing to talk about. Let's give ourselves some breath and some time.
We have to do a special. Maybe the next time we're in person about the trajectory that La Liga is going down. Where they're just becoming less and less competitive against the EPL. Barca and Real are sort of insulated, but otherwise, it used to be that the top six in Spain wasn't necessarily inferior to the top six in England, and the bottom six in Spain was stronger than the bottom six in England. Like I would say for like the last 10 years, because they were technical. They played, they had they had better players, better technical players, all of that. Now I'm not so sure.
So I think this boils down, and you're right, we need to do a deep dive, but this boils down to finances, right?
Yeah, that's
and the financial recklessness that the top two even though they are the ones that are getting 80% of the TV revenue. They're the ones in the Champions League, but they've been reckless, right? Nobody asks you to pay whatever you paid for Hazard, for example. Nobody asks you to pay what you paid for Coutinho. Nobody asks you to pay. So you can name those kind of players that you've given ridiculous. Remember when Barca bought Griezmann, right? For a ridiculous amount of money and putting on a ridiculous and then sent him back. And you're wondering what the hell is going on. And the state has had to dip into their coffers to support these two because they are like the economy of Spain. If you get what I mean. I know I'm exaggerating, but you guys get what I mean. Madrid is lifeline. Barca is lifeline, more or less. Yeah. So the new guy, Tebes, or what's his name? You remember me and Eru were talking about the rule that he called the 1-to-1 rule. You can only spend what you earn. And I'm like, you guys earn enough, right? And this is like being austerity to make sure that to preserve the life of La Liga, so that in the future, yes, you guys are buoyant and you can then. But it's not every time that you'll be given tax relief by the state just to help you, to give you guys a lifeline, and you're still getting 80% of the TV revenue. 80.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Anyway,
we said we'll do that for the next time.
We'll do it later.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do the EPL real quick.
Yes.
Inca, City lost, like we talked about.
Yes.
They were playing at Villa. Won the goal by Paddy Cash. Absolutely ridiculous. Donnarumma has been really good for City. I know he's not your cup of tea.
He's been good. No.
He made this triple save today. That was just like,
he's been excellent.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good. Look,
and I think the City's resurgence is down to him, because all those nonsense of the goalkeeper being your 11th player, of an outfield player, that nonsense stopped. Because they know that he's not that good with the feet, so don't need to be going back. It's like their style of play changed since they took over, more or less, right? But go ahead.
But they can also and they also know that defensively they can rely on him, because when you call on him 1 or 2 or 3 times a game, he's going to answer the call, and he's in great form. He had some form issues over the last few seasons, but right now he's in great form.
I agree.
So
totally agree.
But your boy Ryan Diaz seems to be struggling. He is.
He is.
I don't know what's happening over there.
He is struggling seriously.
Pep seems a little flustered again. But I'm good with it. I'm good with all of that. I'm not gonna cry for them. I didn't look up Everton versus Spurs. Who won?
Spurs beat them 3-0.
Okay, 3-0. Yeah, I didn't see
Spurs won 3-0.
I didn't see that. And who was home?
It was Everton. Everton was home.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yinka, we've talked about Liverpool. We just talked about City. One, do you see any reason to believe there are more than 3 title contenders in England? That's number 1. And 2, do you now believe that this is Arsenal's title to lose?
I think it's even premature to be talking about title contenders right now, right?
But we do.
The reason why I spoke about Liverpool, right? In the light or in the way I spoke about them is because of their peculiar situation. Yeah. So today, for example, Rangers had a bad game, but I'll blame Pep for that. He's tinkering again. You cannot have a center midfield of Reinders, Foden, and Bernardo Silva. Play a center midfield of Onana, Kamara, and Rogers. I've given you, God bless you, 3 wardrobes. 3 beam poles. Those guys were dominated today, Aki. So it's Pep at fault again. Unnecessary tinkering. And this is where I look at it. If Pep says, you know what, I'm gonna put square pegs in square holes, if there's anything like that, City will be fine. They will be in contention. But if you continue to do this nonsense that you're doing, right, you're gonna have these kind of problems. You've never played a 3-man midfield like that before. Why are you playing it away to Villa? That is disrespectful to Villa, who is on form, right? And you're messing with the confidence of your players. So why did he do this? And he had people on the bench that could play that position better. Yeah, he did. He had Gonzalez on the bench. He had Kovacic on the bench. So why not play them in their natural defensive positions? Why are you doing this at Villa? Right? But, this is part of why Pep is Pep. He tries some of this stuff. It works. We say it's ingenuity. And when he messes up, we crucify him. That's the life of a coach. But going back to your question, right now, the only team that seems to be handling the minor adversity that they faced very well are the team that are 4 points on top of the table. Is it 4 or 5? They are 4 points ahead of everybody on the table, which is Arsenal. Yeah?
Yeah, four ahead of everybody, 7, I think, ahead of
because
Liverpool.
Arsenal right now, it's not as if they don't have they don't have injury issues too, right? You have some players that are injured. Saliba came off today. Gabriel wasn't even meant to start. I was surprised he finished the game, right? You've had Saka injured. Odegaard is out. Havertz is out, right? Madueke is out. Hincapié has been out for a while. But the team is big. He came back today. Yeah, the team is big enough, right? And it's talented enough. And the coach is disciplined enough to withstand the curveballs that the football gods are throwing at them. Yeah? In terms of XGs against, right? In fact, all the defensive parameters that you can think of, right? Arsenal are number 1 in the league. Goals conceded is only conceded 3 goals. They're ranked first. XG against 5.3 first. Clean sheet 6 first. Shots faced 72 first. On target faced 19 first. So, who said this? I think it was Sir Alex Ferguson. He said, offense wins you games, defense wins you titles. Yeah?
I would agree.
And in some cases, offense might be the best form of defense. So you are so attacking that nobody has time to defend. Nobody has time to attack you. So your defense is basically on holiday. But in this case, that's not really the case for us now. The defensive unit is solid. They attack as a team and they defend as a team. There is no passenger on the Arsenal team. The whole squad, there is nobody that is a defensive liability. You need to put in your shift. Yeah. So that is a sign of a properly coached team. The Crystal Palace game today was tough. Crystal Palace came with the same. This is the same script that everybody wants to come with now.
Yeah.
Soak up all the pressure, hit them on the counter. Let's see if you can get a goal. Right? Which is why when people keep complaining about set pieces, and I'm like, it will be stupid of you not to utilize something that you get given a lot. If you're playing against Arsenal, you have 2 options. If you don't want to take the set piece, then don't foul them. It's as simple as that. So, for example, today, Saka was fouled unnecessarily. He had gone back, he had gone past Michel, and the guy tackled him. I'm like, and they're complaining, it's another set piece for Arsenal. No, the set piece wasn't won by coin toss. Was it won by coin toss? No, somebody committed a foul. You could have, let him go and suffer the consequences later on, which will probably be maybe a goal or something. But you chose to foul him. So then, hence the set piece. So it is either you avoid the set piece, Aki, or you deal with it. Now, we'll talk about this later on briefly. All of a sudden, everybody now seems to be set piece specialists, right? Everybody's now doing long throws. Everybody's now doing... Spurs, their first 2 goals against Everton today were set pieces. Right? And if I close my eyes or I wear a shade that you won't see the color of the shirts of the team of the players, I would have sworn that it was Arsenal that was playing with the way they executed the set piece. So that means everybody's beginning to realize maybe we can gain competitive advantage, from these set pieces. A lot of people complain. I don't care. It's part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, but going back to your point, Aki, and to your question, I know I went off tangent a bit. Right now, Arsenal seem to be the only team that has the temperament, the squad depth, the skill sets to withstand the curveballs that have been thrown at them. Every other team has not shown us, based on empirical evidence, that they have what I've mentioned, the things I've listed, that they don't have it. Yeah. And maybe also the stability and the comfort that even if I think Arteta has that to some extent with the board and with the people on top. That even if I mess up, I'll be all right to some extent. So to answer your question, yes, it looks like Arsenal. This might be Arsenal's season, but 9 games into the season is too early. We'll see how it goes. Let's talk again in January.
All right, we're gonna leave it alone. Anything else on the EPL, or are you good?
I'm going to quickly talk about Sunderland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday's game against Chelsea is the first 90 minutes that I watch of Sunderland. Every other one has been highlights.
Yeah.
I think they're a damn good side.
Really I'm
good. Not if that's how they've been playing all through the season, right? I think they're a good side.
Really good goalkeeper.
They have some really good goalkeeper. Roof, the young guy, solid guy. Unknown players that are hardworking and they know how to play their position. Yeah. And looking back now, the Xhaka acquisition is looking better. It's looking better and better by the day, right? The commentary in Nigeria here, the guy was saying that he's spoken to some of the coaches and they're like, this guy is bang on going to be a manager after his career.
Right? All the leadership.
The leadership qualities are phenomenal, right? And I'm happy for him. It deserves it, right? A lot of people thought it was Arsenal. Now it's gone to a Sunderland team that is filled with kids. Frankly, they're young boys. The guy that scored is Moroccan, is 21 or so. That scored the winner against Chelsea. Who, by the way, they've not handled the curveball that they've been thrown very well. World champ. They thought the Sunderland was a home banker for them. They thought we were going to get 3.3 goals. And they came to the game with that mindset. You could see the way the players were playing, right? This is not Ajax. Sorry, you don't. Premiership teams are different. Yeah. And you need to respect everybody that you're playing, or else you get found out. As you say, F around and find out. They found out yesterday or day before yesterday. Yesterday rather, that you need to bring your A game every game, or else you're gonna get punished. And they were punished. So
absolutely.
I think that's it. That's it for the EPL.
Okay. Inka, we need to decide where we're going next because we're 48 minutes in. What dimensions or Champions League?
I can just quickly run through Champions League. It's not a big deal.
Do that quickly.
Only 2 games to talk about. I'm going to talk about. It was a high-scoring week. Impressive. Good for the lovers of football. Liverpool, we thought it was a resurgence. But obviously it was Champions League football. The game is play your game, let me play my game. They were away to Eintracht Frankfurt. German teams don't play defensive football. We all know this. I'm happy for them. I was happy for Liverpool. After the game, I thought, okay, let's build on this against Brentford. Unfortunately, they didn't. So it's not resurgence to them. The funk is still there. Then the Arsenal Atlético Madrid game was labeled Haram ball match because they said they're two defensively oriented coaches that were facing each other. And I'm like, that's to start with. I think that is just lazy thinking. If you think Arsenal are a defensive side,
Yeah.
Because they can defend doesn't mean they're a defensive side. Mourinho's side were a defensive side, right? And I don't even mean the Mourinho of Chelsea. I mean the Mourinho of Inter Milan. Yeah, that's a defensive side. Yeah, Sean Dyche teams are defensive sides. Same thing with Atlético Madrid. They can defend, does not necessarily mean they're a defensive side. You don't put five past Real Madrid being a defensive side. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. But people and their agenda and what they want to push. They push the game. Oh, it's going to be 0-0, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, Arsenal got the early goal in the second half, and the floodgates opened. Luis Kelly, in my opinion, probably man of the match between himself and Zubimendi. Probably man of the match. That assist, the young man reminds me of Musa Dembele. Every time I watch him, it reminds me of Musa Dembele. The left, they build the movement and everything. So solid goal. Arsenal have not conceded a goal in the Champions League at home since Arteta took over.
Yeah, but that will be 3 seasons. This is the 3rd season.
No. So I think for the past 2 seasons, because we considered
2 seasons it was plus past now.
2 seasons, yeah. So I don't know. They look good, yeah. We're just waiting for that. I'm waiting for that dip because I know it will come. And the question is how long will the dip last? I think the dip will come.
Yeah, it will come. It may be that we've already had our dip. Okay. All right, so we talked about this. Are we done with those? Yeah, with those? Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's do the word you mentioned. Yinka, we're going to start in the NBA where a major thing happened. There was an indictment at the feds, the FBI, a bunch of people, up to 30 people, 4 or 5 of them associated with the NBA. Biggest name, Chauncey Billups, former Finals MVP, Hall of Fame player. Overall perceived to be quite the gentleman. He got the job as the coach of the Trailblazers, even though there were rumors about him, about sexual assault in the past. But he had so much, what's the word I'm looking for? So much goodwill.
Yeah.
That it didn't matter. This one is tough. So let me give you my general view. Damon Jones, former player, former teammate of LeBron's, is also caught up. Yeah, he spent 11 seasons in the NBA. Go on. We're gonna say something.
Terry Rozier also.
Terry Rozier is a current player.
Is a current player.
And
before now we've had the history of what's his name? This sharpshooter. That was at Lakers, then went to Milwaukee. It was like, if I've forgotten his name. Yeah. So there's been history of gambling issues with NBA players in the past. Go ahead.
So this is gonna be very simple. I cannot take this thing seriously when the leagues, multiple, are in bed with betting companies and gambling companies. I you know me. I'm not a clutch my pearl kind of guy. Socially, I'm not even gonna say I'm socially liberal. I think I'm almost socially libertarian. Like I'm live and let live. If you're not hurting anybody, do whatever you want. Let adults do whatever. And that, for me, that includes almost everything. Just being honest. I'm like, it's like the Jay-Z line, what you eat don't make me,
Yeah.
I don't have to eat it, but you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
You cannot be a league and be pumping, gambling and betting to kids and then turn around and be shocked when representatives of your league are getting, arrested by the FBI. Now, another thing, some of my friends were saying that they didn't even know the 5 crime families were still in existence but they were all represented in the indictment, which is crazy. But I'm like, you know what? If they're not killing people and smashing heads and all they're doing is a little poker here and there, I'm okay with that. You know, this is just, for me, it's such a nothing burger, in my opinion. This is obviously Trump coming after the NBA for whatever stuff they've done in the past. You know, social justice, this, that, or the other. I hope there's insufficient evidence against Chauncey because I like him. You know, just in terms of goodwill and all that, you know, is up there with some of the people who have the best reputations in the league. I'm not saying Terry Rozier doesn't. We don't know these people. I'm not saying Jerry Jones doesn't, but they don't present the same way. So I hope they get good lawyers that can get all this stuff thrown out because it sounds crazy to me. Like, how can you? It's not just that, Inka. ESPN is in bed with the betting companies and the gambling companies. Every single league is in bed with them. And this may not mean much outside of the US, but in the US, this is all new. There didn't used to be gambling outside of casinos, you know, and to get outside of Las Vegas, in any community to get the rights to build a casino, you know, it was a big deal, you know. So this is a very puritanistic country. You know, this has been all over the place in Europe for many, many, many years. Not here. Yeah. This is a big deal here. So, but now everything has been liberalized. Now you can do whatever you want, but you expect the people who have access to the information to not trade off of it. It's kind of insane to me, but that's my take on it.
Yeah. So I hear you. But something tells me you'll be disappointed because they will find something. Because there is something. Because, see, we have a history. It's global. It's not just the US, right? The temptation is too much, right? The moment gambling, so gambling in itself and the benefits, You know my personal position on this because I don't gamble. And you know the reasons why I
don't gamble either.
But once that handshake between sports and gamble started, and even in Europe here, where you started pushing every single game, their bets, you know, even in Nigeria now, within games, you can cash out, you can do all this. Even in Nigeria now, with the advent of whatever, everybody on their phones, it's so accessible now. Before in the past, if you had to bed, you need to drive, especially when we were in Ilorin those days, you need to drive to one lungu somewhere, one house with multiple curtains. You have to open like 5 curtains before you get to where you can even get the ticket to gamble. But now, it's on your phone. Now, here's the temptation. I can influence things so much, and have a ring that I'm benefiting from, that the rewards might not even come to me. It might not even accrue to me while I'm still playing. The rewards might accrue to me after I finish playing. So imagine, Akin, if I know some people somewhere that said, put a bet on me getting the first yellow card in the game, right? Football. And I go into a tackle, smash the guy, yellow card, right? Will anybody know? All that needs to happen is that someone somewhere has put in, let's say, just maybe £500 on me getting a yellow card. As long as you're not greedy with it, you can accumulate. You can come up with a plan and accumulate revenue. In the places that are not being policed properly, for example, in the Nigerian Ligue, there are players now that have been blackballed because they say this guy's a gambler, we don't trust him. My brother was telling me about one of the goalkeepers the other day that said the teams have said don't come near that guy. See, I'm going to say this. Even when our goalkeeper, the national team goalkeeper, started misbehaving, people started looking at him left eye like, dude, what's all this? You read that? People started looking at him like, what are you doing? Have you been? Have you taken some stuff?
Compromised?
Are you compromised? So see this. And in regions where these things are not policed properly, this is what will happen. Do you know how easy it is in the NBA to throw games? Do you know how easy it is? Or somebody says, over or under, I'm not going to play more than 5 minutes. Do you know how easy that stuff is? For example, Damian Jones' issue, he told these people, he told them LeBron is not going to play, or LeBron is not going to play for too long, something along those lines.
Inside information.
Insider information. Akin, do you know how easy it is? And I don't even, so see, the evidence typically is inflow into my account. The inflow might not even come into my account now. It might even be Bitcoin to a wallet somewhere that somebody owns. That, do you understand? It is so easy to execute. So the sports world have a gambling problem. It's worse when it's a bigger team. It is, I mean, it's better rather, quote unquote, better when it's a bigger team. For example, in tennis, it's even worse for games like that are individual. Or boxing, for example. Do you get what I'm saying? So somebody can put money on, maybe a De La Hoya or whoever, going down in the third round. And the guy just takes a sucker punch and falls down in the third round. He gets the money for fighting. And later on, he gets the money for throwing the match. So, Akin, there is evidence. That's the way I see it. And you're right. This is Trump and Kash Patel coming after these guys. Yeah. And the reason is because there's enough to grab some people. Yeah. That's what I think. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
You're probably right.
But I have a funny feeling they have enough. This is not just a shaking to the tree to see what falls off. I think they know the fruit they're after. They've identified the people. Terry Rozier has a history of this. There are, on Twitter, Akin, there are games, there are clips of some things that Terry Rozier has done that you look at and be like, this is sus. Why would he do this?
Yeah. I saw it.
Anyway.
No, but for me, it's the legitimization of, gambling. Again, people like what they like. It's not my thing.
It's not my thing at all.
But I just don't think, because of all the unsavory characters that are usually associated with gambling worldwide, I don't know why you would want to be in business with them as a league. Like, you can find money somewhere else. Find
corporate money.
Sponsorship. Yeah, no, but
the money in gambling is not here. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? When I say it's not here, I'm saying it in our local lingua, right?
I know.
Gambling companies in Nigeria make more revenue than banks. Gambling companies in Nigeria make more revenue than some all companies. But because it's not controlled, it's not. Yeah. So we don't know the extent. Nobody has access to their back end.
Yeah.
So they'll just tell you this is how much we're making. In actual fact, these guys are making billions, and it's the same everywhere in the world.
Okay.
But like you said, the fact that they're pushing the content, they're getting new gamblers every day.
Yeah.
Akin is so bad. Sometimes when I go to the salon, my barber, who is not interested in football at all, he just say, I hope Valencia win. Or may just say, I hope Oviedo wins. I'm like, why are you concerned about
that? Who taught you Oviedo?
Yeah, who taught you Oviedo? Be like, God, don't worry. I put something there on top of him.
Yeah.
Oviedo don't cut my ticket. I'm like, what is going on here? Anyway.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir. What did James Winston do again? Please.
You mean Carragher and O'Hara?
Oh, I was like, when you say Jimmy's, I'm like, what are you talking about?
You
mean Jimmy's okay.
Jamie O'Hara.
I was like, why would? Okay, O'Hara.
And
I saw what O'Hara said, which is crazy. I didn't see what Carragher said, so why don't you tell us?
It's similar to what O'Hara said. Yeah? It's more or less the same thing.
They're saying Arsenal are killing football.
It's cope mechanism at this point. It's coping mechanism. They're not happy with what's going on, and they would rather now tarnish the way and the method and say, everybody in the premiership is now doing it. Everybody now has a towel. Everybody's now doing long throws, right? For example, Brentford, Liverpool, their first goal was a long throw by that Nigerian young boy, Coyote, and the Burkina Faso boy scored, right? So to be fair to Jamie O'Hara, he said Spurs have started playing this way and he doesn't like it, and he doesn't blame Spurs. It's Arsenal's fault. Arsenal started it, and he was blaming Arsenal for everything. Yeah. But it's not just them.
This is amazing to me.
It's the whole set piece FC, ole ole, every small thing,
Yeah.
set piece, this set piece that. Like, once again, I've said it, there's a reason, right, why we get more set pieces than every other person. It's a sign of the field tilt. If you don't want to take the free kick, don't foul the guy. Then deal with the consequences downstream. Yeah? It's simple. And it is. I saw something on our group earlier on, where someone said, "Let me even look for it." I know. Apologies, guys. We're 5 minutes overboard, but this is something I quickly want to touch on. So someone said, "You play low block," and this is an Arsenal piece, kind of. You play low block, we score by set piece, which is the truth, right? You play open and attack us, you concede 3 to 5 goals, which is also the truth. Leeds United came, Atlético Madrid came, same mentality. You come for us, you are the victim. We come for you, you are still the victim. Choose your poison. It's simple. So you need to decide what you want to do. Do you want to not concede free kicks, right? And deal with the downstream effect? Or do you want to be rough with the Arsenal players, kick them, and they should not, they should not capitalize on that? No, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. So Arsenal are not killing anything. They might be winning the premiership. If that's what you consider killing, then so be it. But fingers crossed.
Okay. I don't know what to do about these people, but whatever. Inka, do we have a donkey of the week?
Yeah, I think the whole NBA situation deserves somebody. I think someone needs to take ownership of that. In fact, when this thing broke, Akin, I kind of thought the NBA season has started, and I thought it was just like a wolves crying wolf to bring attention to the fact that the league has started. That was what it seemed like to me before, because it seems as if the league is not generating as much interest as it used to in the past. The opening weekend was kind of dull for me. Yeah,
I thought it was really good. I thought
the games were good. I'm just thought the build up to the build up to the beginning of the season was there was nothing, nothing major to talk about on unless this. But this whole gambling situation, the integrity of the sports matter, guys. Yeah, it's more important than any other thing. Once sports loses its integrity, we have a bigger problem. And sports is dear to some of us. Yeah. So, in fact, sports is, dare I say, for some of us, sport is what we look forward to. Yeah. Some people might even say sports is what keeps them going. They're looking forward to the next game, the next game, the next game. If that means nothing at the end of the day, then it's sad. It is sad. Anyway, I rest my case.
But you didn't say who you're blaming. Who is the donkey?
Whoever. I don't know who to blame, because I don't want to blame Chauncey Billups. I don't want to blame Kash Patel and FBI and even Trump. So I'm just saying I'm blaming the whole gambling institution and, the relationship with sports, imposing themselves on sports, or the relationship between the sporting world and the gambling world. That's what I'm saying.
Yinka, remember the Chris Rock joke, the tiger went tiger? When they said, what was the name of the two magicians that that got mauled by a tiger? It's like the tiger didn't go crazy, the tiger went tiger. The tiger was crazy when he was dancing and you had him dressed up like a baby. That was the tiger being crazy. Tiger mauling you is the tiger being tiger. Inka, gambling businesses would do what they do. These are usually underpinned by criminal enterprise. So, I mean, again, people have a really dim view of quote unquote used car salesmen, right? They literally call someone who is sweet talking you a used car salesman. But that's not nefarious, right? That's just, hey, you have something you can't really back up, you can't really defend. So you have to do a better job of selling it. Yeah. That's not what we're talking about here. This thing is evil and nefarious in itself. Again, you have every right to do it. I'm a live and let live kind of guy. I don't tell anybody how to live their life. I'll keep my own kids out of it as long as I can, right?
Yeah.
A punt once in a while between friends, that's fine. But when you're going every day, I think that's a big problem, right? But Yinka, the leagues don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And because we're talking about the NBA, Adam Silver is the donkey. The leagues don't, Yinka, you oversee a league where we talked about this last week, where your highest salary this season is $59 million. What else do you want?
Yeah.
What more money do you want? How much more money can you, what do you need more money for? You know what I mean? Like, you're only going to make more money going forward. Your TV contracts are expanding. The world is getting richer and the world is watching more basketball.
Yeah.
You put those two things together, the world is literally your oyster. Yinka, again, when we get together in person, we need to talk about the changing face of the NBA superstar. The American superstar is pretty much dead at this point. Every big star in the league is foreign. That there's a that has implication on so many levels. That's why they're squeezing all the blood out of LeBron before he leaves, because after him there's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's American, none.
They're trying to force this Timberwolves ant on everybody.
Yeah, but he's not LeBron. Unless you're measuring greatness by how many baby mamas you have, that can't keep them out short on IG.
Shots fired.
No, it's the truth.
Fired.
So like, he's not going to be the next one if he doesn't have the discipline. LeBron has crazy discipline.
I agree.
So, but all these other cats, Coward was talking about it. All these international guys, they just keep their head down and just do what they need to do. They're mechanical.
See what Wemby's doing.
Yeah. He's the first guy now to score 100 points and 15 blocks in the first 3 games of the season.
That guy is a monster, man.
And he's 22.
So
it's
anyway. It's 7-1, 7-2.
It's like 7-5 or whatever.
It's like 8.
It's ridiculous. Well, Inka, anyway, we could talk about this forever, but let's not.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's quickly wrap.
Thanks, people. Thanks, Aki. This has been fun. Apologies, we went overboard by a couple of minutes. I think it has to do with how passionate we are about the NBA, gambling, and stuff like that. But anyway, thanks, guys.
We love Chauncey Billups.
We love Chauncey Billups. I actually don't like Chauncey Billups.
I love Chauncey Billups.
I like him, but the Pistons team that I was part of, the nightmares. That team was Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups.
Yes, they were good for basketball.
What's his name again? The guy with the goggles, Rick
Hamilton. Yeah.
Oh God, Tayshaun Prince. Those guys give me nightmares. Anyway,
Rashid Wallace.
I'm going off tangent again. Anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for listening to us. Guys, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, engage us across our social media platforms. We really do appreciate it. We're on a journey to the next 1,000. It's piecemeal, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And this is fun, Aki. Really enjoyed this. Thanks, guys, once again. Aki, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Inka. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Go Arsenal. Go Eagles. Go Knicks. The Knicks are killing it, by the way. And goodbye.
Bye, people.